Yo, I'm Grommie.
I'm AudioJunkie.
And you're watching another episode of Heavy Basics.
Hey, I'm Zach. This is another Heavy Basics interview series. Today we are interviewing Grommie, who's also brought along her mother, AudioJunkie, who got her into the music industry. How you guys going?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, wicked man. Thank you for having us on.
So, let's get into this. What was your main inspiration? I know it was your mother.
Oh, growing up, I always heard her playing and it always was a big part of my life. I always loved it. Never thought I could do it though. And then until one day she said it to me one more time and I went away and thought about it. And I was driving along and I just clicked in my head. I just said, I need to do it. And I came back to her and she was the happiest lady after trying for so long. Finally gave it a go and it all just went from there.
So when did you start? Like, how long ago?
Oh, it's probably 4 years ago I had my first mix. Didn't play again for a whole year. And then on that year after, bought my own decks and just started playing every single day.
I actually think she started way before that because she was in my stomach listening to this music when I was DJing. So she sort of was born into it, whether she liked it or not.
Exactly.
So what genre did you start on?
So the first ever mix I did have was actually house music because I always got told it was like the more easier one. But when I first properly started, straight onto the dubstep because that was what I was passionate about and I thought, well, there's no point mucking around with other genres, might as well just go straight for it. And it actually was the easiest one because I'm so familiar with the music.
So like you started down in Te Awamutu and then you moved up here, what, a year and a half ago, 2 years now?
Oh, sorry, I actually have been up here for like 5 years. Yeah.
Has it been that long?
Yeah, because I was up here beforehand, but I just had my motorhome. That's what I've been up here in the motorhome for like two and a half years, yeah. But I started DJing down there and moved up. I got my first 2 gigs from my mum actually. We played them down those ways. Amazing, one of the best things I've ever done in my life. And then that's when I realised I needed to move up to Auckland. And I got up here as soon as I could.
So she not just inspired you into getting into music, she also pushed you to take the next step up.
Well, actually, I didn't push her because I feel parents push things onto their children and it's not fair. They might want them to do exactly what they did. I just introduced the idea of it to her because I felt that she had it in her and then left it with her.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, exactly like that pretty much. And it was always my passion, so it was always there. Just, you just got to believe in yourself and that was something I never did. She obviously believed in me from the start, so I'm glad that I realised eventually.
So where was your first gig that you played?
My first ever gig, we were just talking about that before as well. We planned the set because I was so scared, and because she actually got the set and then told me I'm coming back to back with her, and I said, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I was not ready. And she said, yes, you are, I promise. And so we did that, and it was one of the best things I've ever done, and I can't believe that I actually did it. Still, it was an incredible experience. Still made a few mistakes, but that's how we learn.
She nailed it actually, and even the one little mistake she made, she brought it back so quickly, no one even noticed. She was all over it. I was real proud.
Yeah, it was wicked, man.
So who were you inspired by in the New Zealand music industry? In dubstep, drum and bass, or any genre above?
Milky's a massive inspiration to me. And I actually only met him quite recently, so yeah, but he's a very passionate person, going for it, big tunes, big bass, and that's what I'm all about, and always trying to have a fresh sound, which is super important to me as well.
We were talking about it in the car on the way down here, the difference in social media and getting gigs and so forth. It was a lot harder for me to get a gig. And to get into R&B was epic, and I don't know how I managed, but I sort of just flailed my way into there and managed to get 2 really good gigs. But there was no social media, and it was a lot harder to do things like this and even get out there to get a gig, so you'd really, really be striving to get one. So for Grommie to be able to do all of these things and be recognised because there's such a big platform out there for people to see her is amazing.
Yeah, I remember you being quite nervous about a few shows.
Oh, yeah.
And building your way up from there, and it's just like, I know now when I see you on stage, you're just like killing it out there.
Yeah, it took a long time to get over those nerves. And you still get them, but you turn it into an excitement. So like I'm very excited about the gig rather than I used to make myself almost sick. and like be shaking so hard that I'd get sore bones because I was so scared and I had to be so perfect. And now I understand that it's okay to make a mistake. Some of the biggest artists in the world do, and it just makes us human. And yeah, it's all a part of the process anyway.
Well, it's like the first time that I met you. I was like, I woke up to the house shaking, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? It's like 5 a.m, and I walk out to the lounge, and I see you, no headphones on, just going, and I'm like, what the hell? Walk around the corner and there's a full-on raving out lounge, and I'm just like, oh, that was my introduction to like full-on like dubstep in a way that was different than just hearing like songs on the radio.
We felt that you needed to hear those.
So where did you get your DJ name from?
Oh, that's a good story actually. So it was my nickname from a kid, probably quite young, like 4 or 5 years old. And I actually hated it when I was younger. I always got teased with Grommie because it was like a little grommet, you know. And we'd drive past like little shacks on the side of the road, and my parents would be like, look, Grommie, that's your house. And I'd be like, no, it's not, I'm cross. And I'd be so mad. And eventually, you know, it just wore in Grommie. It's just what my name was. And when I first started DJing, I was trying to think of this real cool fly DJ name, something that was like real slick. And they both suggested to me, why don't you have Grommie? And I said, hell no, I'm not having that as my DJ name. That's not cool. That's my nickname. That's dumb. And then after probably like a good 6-7 months of trying to think of something real cool, I went, oh shit, I'm Grommie. Whether I like it or not, it's who I am, and it actually really fits me down to a T. Like it fits my style of music, and yeah, it's who I am. So I embraced it. It was a bit weird at first, but nah, I love it, absolutely love it.
So where was some hard parts, like I'm talking to you, with the fact of going from vinyl to CDJs? What did you find difficult?
I actually found it really easy. With your vinyl, you know, I had belt drives because it was the first ever decks that I had. So you'd be playing with them and they'd constantly go out of time, so you'd constantly have to get them in time. And with the earlier decks, there was no BPM thing, but you would get the BPM on your record. So, you know, it would take you a while to get used to them, but everything was done by ear, everything. And then I was so nervous to get onto CDJs, and it was almost like a gift. It was really easy, that transition. I found it easy anyway. It was just that they stayed in time, and there were so many more functions that you could do. The difficult thing, I think, for me was you get lazy, and it was harder to go back to the vinyl. I think after you've used CDJs for a while, you can definitely get lazy and lose your touch on your vinyl, so you need to keep both. So I bought a Technics turntable so that I kept on top of it, you know. But, you know, it was a nice transition, and the CDJs that you get out today, amazing.
So crisp.
Yeah, beautiful to mix on.
All right, Grommie, so what are you looking forward to? Have you got any upcoming events that you're looking forward to?
Oh yeah, so we've got a few little ones coming up, but one of the bigger ones is Mardi Gras. I'm playing Mardi Gras. I played there about 2 years ago in one of the after parties, so one of the smaller ones, and this year I'm very lucky to be playing on one of the main stages, so such a same thing with the growth. It's very cool to see. And then I've also got a double headline coming up with Milky, who I mentioned before, which is going to be absolutely epic, hosted by you guys.
Yeah, very much looking forward to that event.
It's going to be awesome.
So what's an embarrassing moment that you've had in your career so far?
Oh, embarrassing. There's a couple of them, to be honest. We all have those. I don't even know. What other embarrassing things? Maybe the hill thing
You fell down the hill. God, come on, you know.
So I was actually at this bush stuff with some of my favourite DJs. It was Dirty Phonics actually in Megalodon. And I was having an amazing time, absolutely awesome, and somehow ended up up the hill talking to a few people. And then I was like, wait a minute, I'm not back at the music. I need to get back there now. So I turned around and ran to go back to the stage, not realising I had walked up the hill. And I ran straight down the hill, tumble, ended up at the bottom, like, oh, what's happened? But funny thing, I just got back up and was like, nothing's going to stop me from getting back to the music, and still just carried on running. So that was very embarrassing because a lot of people saw me do it.
She was covered in mud.
I had a few thistles in the legs, but definitely worth it to get back to the music, I tell you.
Oh mate, if I saw you roll down a hill, I'd probably piss myself laughing and not give you heaps of shit for it.
sorry, that was my fault.
Yeah.
So talking of alien weaponry, on the 9th of June we are running the wildcard competition where he's been coming along every week. So if you'd like to come along to that, maybe chuck him some tunes,
Meet him.
Yeah, and get to meet him. I think that would be a really good idea.
That would be awesome.
Also, I really look forward to seeing you in July down in Tauranga.
Oh, that's going to be awesome. Yeah, it's going to be one wicked gig.
Thank you very much to music.net for helping putting these interviews on. If you want to check out more, go to www.themassive.co.nz.